Swadikap and good afternoon. Today is Friday, the 26th of March, 2021, and this is the English language summary of the daily press briefing here at the CCSA. This morning we had the daily CCSA meeting as usual, and thank you to Dr. Penpapa or Dr. Bum, who gave us the Thai language summary just now. She ended actually with some information about the vaccine distribution update, which I'll go into that a little bit later on, as well as, of course, the daily numbers and tally scoreboard that we have in terms of the infections in each province. So she summarized to us about that. Now, so moving to the number of cases recorded for today. We have for today recorded 134 cases, as you can see on screen, out of that number, 87 are from active case finding, 41 from local transmission, and 6 from those traveling back from abroad. The active cases currently being treated is 1,453, so it stands at above 1,400. The no new fatalities reported for today, and new recoveries 86. And as you can see on screen, as always, we have the tally in terms of the cumulative number of cases from the very beginning last year until this year, the cumulative number, as well as the number of recoveries so far. So as you can see in the red box and the bright green box on screen, the numbers are almost reaching each other, actually. So 28,000 plus and 27,000 plus. So as soon as the number of recoveries reach the number of total cases, that means that we have treated everybody already, minus, of course, those who unfortunately passed away. So just an update on the general situation that the Health Ministry reported that most of the new confirmed cases were found in Bangkok, in Samut Sakhon, and in Tak province. As you recall, on Wednesday, I mentioned about the number of cases in Bangkok now being higher than the number of cases found daily in Samut Sakhon province. Now, out of the 134 cases, new cases reported for today, 98, majority actually, were found in Bangkok. If we're going to go by location-wise, and most of which were found in Bangkok. Most of which were found in Bangkok through active case finding in Bang Khae district in particular. And as for Samut Sakhon, 17 new cases have been confirmed, so a lesser number of cases than Bangkok. Now, for international travelers in particular, today the Prime Minister is also chairing the Center for Economic Situation Administration, or CESA, CESA, focusing on the economic situation. And the meeting is set to discuss measures on facilitating foreign investors and business persons, and the plan to receive more foreign tourists in accordance with the disease control measures in Thailand, and which have been continued to be relaxed, and the number of vaccinated persons around the world, of course, increasing, as well as the distribution in Thailand as well. However, the government like to reassure that the safety of local residents, of course, remains as priority. Health authorities advise that any area that wishes for early reopening must achieve herd immunity through vaccination first, according to the vaccination plan. And they must also have the appropriate measures to test and trace the visitors. Now, a case in point, as you can see in the newspaper today, particularly in the Bangkok Post, it was something about Phuket being the readiness of Phuket in terms of opening up. So that's a case in point with the issue that I mentioned. And other areas, other provinces would have to fulfill these criteria in terms of the vaccination and the herd immunity before early opening of the province for regular business and tourists. Now, update on the vaccines. So yesterday, the Food and Drug Administration approved the Johnson & Johnson vaccine for local emergency use. So this is the third vaccine to be approved for being used in the National Inoculation Program. The approval shows that Thailand is open to all vaccine manufacturers and is very keen to provide more choices for the people and more alternatives for the vaccination plan that we have. Now, so far, as mentioned by Dr. Boom, Dr. Penprapra just now, more than 120,000 persons have received the first dose already in Thailand, and almost 15,000 persons are now fully vaccinated with the second dose. So that's around 136,000 total. Only 2 cases have been reported to show serious side effects, and both cases have been treated and are discharged from hospital. Now, there is one particular issue which I'd have to raise because it had been announced just a little bit before this press briefing of ours. The Public Health Ministry had investigated reports that a person had died from abdominal aneurysm after receiving the vaccine. The initial report suggests that this individual had been suffering from this condition prior to being vaccinated. And the Department of Disease Control has examined the case thoroughly. And just a little bit before this press briefing of ours, the Health Ministry just held a press briefing to clarify that this individual, a male individual, had succumbed due to his pre-existing condition and not from the vaccine received. So today's briefing is quite short. This is the information that I have for you today. You can always find more detailed English language information through our social media sources, the COVID-19 CCSA Center Facebook, as well as the Department of Disease Control social media and hotline numbers. So we continue to see, in closing, I'll just say that we continue to see a number of cases in Bangkok increasing. So just to remind, of course, the basic yet important tips to prevent the spread of the disease. As you can see on screen now, this is yet another infographic from the World Health Organization. We may have been experiencing pandemic fatigue, as I mentioned often, but we have endured with the virus. We've been trying to solve and treat and prevent and contain for the past year. Please keep in mind that DMHTT measures remain relevant and important, and we'll continue our efforts to overcome this pandemic together. So thank you for your attention today. Have a very nice weekend ahead, and we'll see you again next week. สวัสดีครับ